Jayne Mansfield was one of the most talked-about bombshells of the 1950s, a platinum blonde star who understood publicity better than almost anyone in Hollywood. Known for her hourglass figure, playful voice, and fearless embrace of glamour, Mansfield built a career that thrived on headlines and eye-catching appearances. When topless photographs of her surfaced, some from European projects, others from private sessions that later became public, they sent shockwaves through audiences who were accustomed to the far more conservative standards of mid-century America. At a time when the film industry operated under strict production codes and public morality campaigns were common, even the suggestion of nudity could ignite controversy. Mansfield, however, had long mastered the art of walking the line between scandal and sophistication. She cultivated an image inspired by Marilyn Monroe yet infused it with her own brand of theatrical flair, often appearing in daring gowns with plunging necklines that guaranteed photographers would gather wherever she went. The reaction to her topless images reflected the cultural tension of the era. Critics condemned what they saw as indecency, while admirers argued she was simply embracing the evolving freedom of expression that defined the late 1950s and early 1960s. European cinema was already more permissive than Hollywood, and Mansfield's willingness to participate in bold projects overseas demonstrated both ambition and a desire to expand beyond the limits imposed on American actresses. Beyond the shock value, these images also highlighted how she carefully controlled her persona. Mansfield was not merely a passive subject of controversy, she was an intelligent woman with a high IQ, a classically trained violinist, and a multilingual performer who understood that publicity, whether glowing or critical, kept her name in circulation. The uproar surrounding her topless photos amplified her fame and reinforced her reputation as Hollywood's ultimate risk-taker. Newspapers splashed her image across front pages, talk shows debated the morality of her choices, and fans lined up to see her latest appearances, proving that outrage often translated into attention. While some studios distanced themselves to avoid backlash, independent filmmakers saw opportunity in her willingness to push boundaries. Over time, the initial shock softened into fascination, and Mansfield's daring imagery became part of her larger legacy as a symbol of glamour, rebellion, and media savvy. Today, those photographs are often viewed through a historical lens rather than a scandalized one, representing a moment when celebrity culture began shifting toward greater openness and sensationalism. In retrospect, the controversy says as much about the era's social anxieties as it does about Mansfield herself. She embodied a transitional period in entertainment history when traditional values collided with modern celebrity branding. Her topless images did not merely shock audiences, they challenged expectations, sparked debate about artistic freedom, and cemented her place as one of Hollywood's most unforgettable icons. Decades later, the conversation around her boldness continues, reminding us that Jayne Mansfield was far more than a headline. She was a master of spectacle who understood that in show business, attention was power, and she wielded it unapologetically.